Welcome to Hammer Down Garage. Today we're going to be working on my 1970 Nova. We went ahead off camera and set my valve lash. I'm going to go through real quick and do my lifter preload on the passenger side. Driver side's already done. We are also going to do some electrical. I got to route my spark plug wires and also tighten up my Holley EFI sniper harness. Alright, we're gonna dive right in. So I went through and I set my lash. That entails popping off both covers, putting a socket on the crank, and I like to do it in 90-degree intervals. So just crank the motor 90 degrees. You want to run through, set all your valves. Doesn't matter what valves are open, closed, on the exhaust or intake, does not matter. This is a very easy way to do this, and I've seen a couple guys on YouTube that done this as well. So you turn your motor over 90 degrees, and then you run through and you check and see which rocker arms are loose. Crank them down. You want to give the push rods a spin until you feel a little bit of tension. And then once you run through all of them on both sides, you would crank your motor over 90 degrees again. Repeat the process. I like to do 2 full rotations on the crank, and then now we are at this point. I have already set my lifter preload on that side, and we're going to do that on this side, which I always do half turns. Seems to work for me. Bring it up at 12 o'clock. Give it a half turn. And if you don't know what your lifter preload is from your manufacturer, half turn is a safe middle ground to be at. Then we got to go ahead and wipe off the surface. Get this gasket on here permanently. Fuel line's in the way, so we'll go ahead and that gave us our half turn. Alright, get some brake cleaner and wipe this surface down, and we can slap that baby back on. Just purposes, saving on brake clean. I like to just give a little squirt on here. You don't have to go nuts with it. It does evaporate pretty quickly, but we ain't got the money to buy cases of brake clean, so this is how I use it. You just want to run through here, just like any other gasket, and you just want to wipe until you get no dirt. This isn't a show car by no means, but we want to minimize any leaks, keeping all these gasket surfaces pretty clean. Just move to a new spot on the rag. I don't really like using these red rags. They tend to fall apart, leave fibers behind, but like I said, this isn't a show car, and we work with what we got. There's nothing wrong with that. Make sure when you spray the brake cleaner, you get it all over the paint. Kind of blends in, you know what I mean? We like the patina here. There will be a day we eventually paint this car, but we are a ways away from that. She's perfect just the way she is right now. Alright, I'd like to say that's pretty good. There was a little bit of residue on there. but it's fine, I'm sure. Boop, boop. Alright. Had a stud come out. Alright. We did have this motor torn apart. Fresh gaskets all the way through. The only thing we didn't do was disassemble the rotating assembly. I took it apart just out of curiosity. For the longest time, I didn't know what cam I had in it. We discovered it's an Edelbrock street style cam. Guy's about to run out of coffee. Where were we? Alright, yes, we gotta get this valve cover. Where did I put it? It's a cheap Summit brand. I got it because it was shiny. I have a weakness for shiny things. Alright. Yeah, this is that stud that came out. Probably tightened it just a little too much. I went with these valve cover stems because I got a kit for my spark plug wires, and I thought they were gonna attach. Right here. It turns out that they attach at the bottom, but I like them. Like I said, they're shiny. It beats, fighting for the socket to get in here and get these out. When you get your bolt on here, for some reason these grooves don't mend well with my socket set. Don't know why, but I just felt like this was a lot easier. We gotta set our fuel pressure on the return still. We still got quite a bit to do. Off camera, after the first video I made, which, sorry for the quality of that video, I'm pretty sure it was up there with the worst, but that's fine. After that video, I went ahead and tightened the bell housing to the block, which, if you can see, let me get the spotlight. Yeah. This big block and this Nova makes it very difficult. That bolt that also holds my trans dipstick broke in the block. I gave up, obviously. It might have been midnight. I had to come back out here and pull my motor out. Like, not completely out, but had to pull the motor and transmission, scooch it this way a little bit, and then I was able to miraculously get the bolt out. I only had 1/8 of an inch of the bolt sticking out, and my extractor sockets actually fit on there and grabbed onto it, which I'm thankful for, because I was under the assumption that I'd be having to drill a bolt out. God dang it. Okay. That is done. And what we didn't do was put our brackets on. Dang it. I believe these are all the same, too. Yes. 2 on this side, 2 on that side. I believe, if I remember right, we had here and here on both sides. We'll go ahead and put these on. That way it's out the way. kind of got ahead of myself. Snag these off real quick. You see, this is why I like these. They come off so quick. I don't like that. Yeah, we're gonna go one back. Alright. We are making progress. I know, it doesn't seem like it. That's okay. Okay. All right. And they were facing in. Alright, we are good. Let me get some light on here. Oh, yeah, we got fuel coming out. Nice. That's what we want. We want fuel all over the place. Oof. Oh, yeah, it got all in there. That's a little irritating. This is my windshield wiper motor harness right here. Ooh, dang it, she was dripping. Anyways, I tied the sniper harness in with my main harness. You can see that's the, I believe, 10-pin connector. We still have to support these with the clips that go on the firewall, but we ran all the wires down around the distributor. That's my coolant sensor right there. But we gotta tie this in with clips. But if you see right there, we got our fuel pump wire going in, and there is another set that goes in that I believe goes to the Hyper Spark ignition that maybe one day we'll upgrade to. But, you know, for cost purposes, we're just going to use what we got. Harness comes up, fuel pump relay, that's another relay there. But you can see I tried to hide it. And I think, you know, once everything's ran and tightened up and that air cleaner's on, you're not going to know it's there. I'm going to go ahead and take a break real quick, go grab a bite to eat, and we'll be right back. I went ahead, got some things we need that's going to speed up the process. That way I'm not looking for stuff. I'm limited on space and getting a little cluttered in here. Alright, so we're going to be tying the harness to the firewall permanently this time. We also have to fix a few things. One of them being my that's power to the starter. Want to redo this connection here. Yeah, we want to redo that connection and lengthen this. So we're probably going to have a butt connector here and here. That way we can run it along the inner fender wells. Keep it nice and tidy. We also have this fuse right here that goes there or here, wherever I decide to put this thing. One of the wires came out of the clip, so Just gonna go ahead and fix this. Can't get this wire out of here. I thought this was a spade connector, and you know, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but man, I just can't get this thing out of here, and it kind of doesn't look like a spade. It kind of looks like a permanent deal, but we're gonna strip this wire. Let's slip that back in there and get my needle nose in there to crimp it down, and hopefully it stays for a while. This is our starter wire. Yeah, that'll 10 gauge. That'll give me the length I'm looking for. It's getting cold out. Temperature's just dropping pretty quick too. Come on. Alright. Harbor Freight might have been like less than 10 bucks. Alright, that is in there. Now we want to plug this guy back in. I just gotta pay attention to that, because that is very delicate. Pull on this harness here. I don't exactly have a placement for this right at the moment. You know, I'd hate to keep drilling holes in my firewall. I've added a few, but I had to pull on this. I had to pull on this harness because my ground and my power are just so close to the battery. And when this wire loom goes back on here, you know, it runs across the inner fender well, and I kind of didn't have enough. This was originally right here, but yeah, I had to figure something out about that. I mean, I could just zip tie it right there. That way the fuse itself isn't just flopping around while we're pulling on this. I'll probably eventually cut this harness open and lengthen them wires, and you know, I might cut it back and get some fresh wire put in there, but we don't really want to be doing that right now. Alright, I'd say I'm happy with it right there for now. These clips on here. That's come on now. Just pull on it a little bit more slack. Right there. Alright. One down. I believe, I can't remember which hole we used, but we're going to jump over there, tighten that side up. Alright, now windshield wiper motor. So we're going to leave that exposed. What do we got? I don't know. Alright, this harness right here is that 10-pin connector for the sniper. We kind of want that on the firewall, and right there seems to be a good spot. Alright, we're going to zip tie the other half of this to the main harness. It'll be too difficult to get a clip back there. Alright. Let's go ahead and pop in our windshield wiper motor. I don't have blades yet, but the whole unit is here. Yep. Nice. We'll probably oil them eventually. Alright, real quick, little off topic, but we lost the nut. The nut is fine thread too. But I did find out, if you guys ain't got one of these, you should definitely get one. Changed my life. These are all leftover and, you know, bolts that I just happened to replace along the way. Yes, these are my old ball joint. I believe the upper ball joint bolts. Mine came with a kit, so I replaced them. And always save your original hardware because of situations like this. Yeah, I have mostly coarse thread. Now this isn't the original nut, but it's gonna work for us. We don't have to strip nothing. Washers are still in there. No, that's bigger than that. 3/8 or 7/16. 7/16. Yep. This will be a little tricky. I'm going to be somewhat doing this a little bit blind. Probably better if I put it on by hand. Alright, it works. Now we gotta get this arm in here. And if I remember right, is it notched? Yes, it is notched, so it's gotta go on there a specific way. Work with me. believe that's it. As long as it stays. Oh, it's slipping off of there. Oh man. Wrong one. Alright. Ooh, yeah, my shoulder popped. Oh, that's definitely on there now. That is in. Let's put this back. Alright, let's get our harness plugged back in. There it is. Those are extra left over. I believe some of those went along the core support and the others went on the inner wheel wells. We're getting there though. We have plenty of other stuff to do. Have some heat wrap for a lot of this wiring and fuel line in the engine bay. I've had some bad luck with my power cable and this cable that I'm doing right now. melting on the headers down there. You know, they used to run right here, which, you know, caused me to replace my power wire. The old one's around here somewhere. But yeah, so I'm rerouting them. I went through the engine mount itself. Just want everything to flow nicely. Oh, can't lose that. But I'm going to be wrapping this in a. I got a loom for this, and also some heat wrap where I think it'll need it. We are back. What you just seen was me cleaning up my inner wheel wells. I did go off camera and struggle for probably 3 hours, it seems like. Not really, but a good hour and a half I was struggling. We managed to get passenger side inner wheel well in, and I had to get the wheel well in between the core support and the grill. 1, 2 there, and 1 back there. That one fought me. So did these. Getting this in here, you know, I didn't take the tire off, so I really struggled for a while. But here, we got all our hardware in now. Let's go over here and check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, we got the inners in. So we're good there. Now we can kind of continue where we left off. I believe we were talking about the heat wrapping I have for this. But before we do that, I want to put my battery back in place. Really? Is you knocking on the door? Hi. This is Athena. She's a puppy still. Good girls. Go on. You go outside. Alright, I guess we can hook up our alternator while we're here. It's right in my face. It's the ground that goes to the motor. My battery and my light's dying, so bear with me here. I think that's 9/16. Yep. Okay. Swing this around here. Looks a little bit better. Okay. Maybe try to tighten up this wiring here. For now, that ground can live right there. And it's gonna run to right here. Our power. Positive cable. See where this positive ends up. Yeah, we should be good. Good to go on that. Okay, we need to lengthen this. This is our blower motor. The dead cow you hear are my dogs. Hey, what are you guys doing? You better be nice. You better be nice. We love Apollo. Be nice.